Hello, my name is Zhatelier, welcome back for another episode of Valhalla Vanguard in Aurora 4X, and in previous episode we tried to send in a rescue mission to get the Explorer out of the space there, but unfortunately the enemy had returned to the jump gate. Now, it might be possible for us to dry them out again for long enough for the freighter or something to get back in there, but at the same time, actually, we have the troop transport ready at the point on the other side of that point, and the freighter has been repaired. So, what we can try to do now is, first of all, go to Nastrand and then refuel from there. Then you should be able to transport through there, then move there. I hope this will have enough range. If it doesn't, then we are screwed, but we might be screwed anyway. But we can, for example, give them enough fuel that the Explorer can move at least a little bit this way, and then go back and get a bit more fuel from the whalers and refuel. If we can just get away from that jump point, that would be good. We don't actually know if there's anyone over here. If they are guarding all of these jump points, then we are totally screwed. I certainly hope that's not the case, at least right now. But since we did have the ships repaired, that's good. We don't need to worry about working on those right now. Now, we are pretty close to, well, I say pretty close, but at least 2 months away still from the better engine tech. But hopefully we can do that today and get started on those a little bit. Start designing some of the engines. I mean, we can go with like designing how much engine power we need for our ships. Frankly, for the military ships we may need to get at least to, I don't know, 6,000 or 7,000 kilometers per second. 7,000 might be reasonable. That would let us stick very close to the enemy precursor ships, even if we might not be able to catch them entirely. Of course, then we will try to get the carriers, with the fighters, the Meson fighters, which should have very quick engines, and those will of course be just as quick as possible with the tech that we have. We don't have the highest possible engine power modifier, unfortunately, so that might hinder us a little bit. Team skill upgraded for another of the geology teams. That's nice. Now, the reason why I'm not using the remaining fuel on the Explorer to move right now is because otherwise it's just going to stop the game rather frequently, if I remember correctly, if you have a ship out of fuel. And that's something that I don't really want to have right now. Okay, another freighter has been constructed, so now we can start producing the oiler again, and hopefully we can get some fuel back to Valhalla that way. So from here, construction, oiler, assign it to the shipyard, I believe. Now, that's going to take a while, actually. It's not going to be done anytime soon, but I mean, in the meanwhile we can mostly refuel from the whaler fleet, so that should be mostly okay. Mostly, I'm not entirely sure about that, but I'm assuming we don't have any freighters waiting in Valhalla right now, other than one in the shipyard. We do have another freighter group coming back, and we do have the freighter unloading minerals in Valhalla, because that's taking stuff to Valhalla and then picking up the minerals over there. Speaking of which, let's actually have a look at the situation of our colony. So Njord is 7.25 million population, 0.26 over here, but okay. Then we already have 29 construction factories and 40 mines. We're mining actually a decent bit of resources here. I mean, it's not huge, But it's enough to at least keep on going a little bit. And the stockpiles are growing. Then of course we have the asteroid miners over here, which are mining quite a bit. Did we bring in another... No, I don't think we brought in another fisherman here yet, but I think we are going to do that sooner or later. Then Mimir is still rather small. It could have up to 200,000. It's actually the same situation as it was in a couple of episodes ago. Then in Valhalla we have this place that has 46 auto mines, and it's mining a lot of minerals actually, yearly, 6,000 tons. Then there's this one that is mining actually not all that much. It has a nice variety of resources that it is mining, but it doesn't have many automated mines yet in there. And then the asteroid is mining still quite a bit. Could be mining a lot more. But those are being transferred to the Moon 9 from both of these. I forgot I had... Oh right, Emir was a bit of a dead end. And it is a very colonizable planet actually, but it's a bit hard to get there right now. Which frankly is a problem, and secondly they don't actually have much minerals, so it's not really necessarily worth it. Unless, if I remember correctly, Emir didn't really have any resources other than that one either. I know that I could use the other screen as well, but I'm going to use this just to get the... Yeah, the planet is the only one that has minerals in there. It's fairly far away from the jump point as well, so yeah, Emir is kind of a waste of time. Alfheim, I remember, had quite a bit of resources by the looks of it, or at least resources in a lot of places. Alpha C2 is actually not a bad one. Not sure if that's colonizable or not, but it has a lot of resources. But again, the problem is reaching there. I'm not sure if we can. I mean, maybe there's a loop through Runic to get to Alfheim. That would give us a loop around Moonin for the time being, because that is bit of a problem right now. Let's go to Nostran to see... The freighter is going... Hold on... Over there. Yeah, it is on its way. The moment through, we might be able to go through and not get spotted. Hold on, 33 completed orders. What were the orders anyway? I think it was the mines to... I think it was bringing mines to New York, actually. Come to think of it. There's not much available workers right now in New York, so maybe not worry about that. I suppose we could bring in a mine or two to Mimir. Also, does the team over here have enough people? It does. It's just everyone is a bloody awful skill. Since we haven't still figured out who owns these installations, or owned these installations. It's probably the precursors. Let's see, is there... You know what, I'll save the fuel for a little while. Because we could use a bit of an extra there, and actually, we did get the extra freighter, didn't we? So we could assign that to the freighter 3. These are old freighters, though. I wonder, how expensive would it be to refit that? We can check that over here, I believe. If we go to Knartu and Freighter, if we cost from... Hold on, is there... Oh, it doesn't show the obsolete. Maybe now. Okay, that's that's a bit expensive. Another option is that we could just break these old ones apart, save up some resources, and then rebuild new ones instead. It is an option that we could indeed do. Not necessarily a great option, but we could think about that. I mean, they are transferring stuff fairly fuel efficiently, but the Knar 2s actually have more fuel efficient engines. So yeah, maybe it might be worth the effort to scrap and rebuild them eventually. So order is not possible for Explorer 2, which returned to Humir by the looks of it. Have you refueled? Not entirely. I believe this one... Oh, Auxilian, right. I thought you'd get the maintenance done. Yeah, Auxilian has been in Zhatelier, I believe. There's still a little bit to explore there, so we'll send him back. Production. Mass driver has begun. Oh, right, so we completed the infrastructure in Valhalla. We still got plenty available there, I believe. We could technically transfer some of that to Njord to boost that a little bit. That's not a terrible idea, but I'll wait a little bit before we start doing that. Or maybe start doing that in January or something like that. Crew morale failing on the Explorer 1. Slightly unfortunate, but there's not much I can do about that. There's still a decent bit of traffic with the freighters here, but it's not a huge one. New shipping line. Interesting. And we trained another unit. Let's train another one. We got a lot of garrisons here. We've got one construction brigade over here waiting. We are building another construction brigade. I'm going to make another replacement battalion, quite frankly. They are fairly cheap, and they will be useful once we start actually fighting a lot. Right, is there another maintenance facility is almost completed. We have a decent capacity for maintenance already here. And we are building a lot of construction factories still. How are we doing in terms of... Mercatium is the lowest one, which is mostly being used for the research labs right now. And a few other things. Let's see, so these are refueling over there at the whalers. Have we reached Munin yet? We have. And there was no one there. Hopefully we can get up to the Explorer 1. How is your fuel situation? Let's have a quick look. Pretty good, actually. Okay then, I think we might be able to get there. We'll leave... about half the remaining fuel on the freighter, and we'll transfer that to the Explorer, so the Explorer can move at least a little bit. Right, we got another geosurvey completed. In Zhatelier A2, Duranium increased from 0.1 to 0.8, and Galicite increased from 11 million to 13.5 million, and increased accessibility from 0.1 to 0.3. That's not bad. Not bad at all. So let's have a look at the place then. That was Zhatelier A2. It has all the resources there. Accessibilities aren't great, but the numbers are pretty decent. I mean, Tritanium is the only one that is less than 1 million. Duranium is plentiful and good accessibility. Boronite is over 1 million and 0.7 accessibility. And Galisite also. Actually, Galisite might not be a terrible thing, because we do need that for engines. Of course, the accessibility of 0.3 isn't all that great, but it's usable. So we can disband that team. Have we done the survey over here? Yes, we have. Let's have a quick look at Zhatelier real quick. Here at... there's still plenty of things here. That was the one that we just explored. Zhatelier A1... Let's see, so Zhatelier A1 over here. It has a lot of uranium, 30 million, very low accessibility. It has a lot of variety of resources there, so let's put in a colony over there. Then this one has also low accessibility, 200 million. So if we could increase accessibility on Zhatelier B1, that would be nice. Is there anything that is... Mimir is already colonized. And there's one... Okay, that has 3. That's not terrible either. That would be colonizable, definitely. Now, is there... That one has a lot of uranium. And... That one wouldn't be terrible necessarily. I mean, it has 9 million, so we'll put a colony over there. We'll scatter some of them around just to have options to survey. So this one hasn't been surveyed yet. This one has a lot of uranium. Let's send in the survey team here. I mean, a lot of uranium is always nice. So create team. This one actually has a rather skilled team. Well, 152. I thought it would be a bit higher. Hold on, we're not far away from getting the engine tech, are we? Well, it's going to be the end of the month, unfortunately, but yes, we're not far away. Well, let's see. Oh, the TUG released another miner in Valhalla, okay. And I'm actually going to go 1 day increments until we get the engines, because we can then start designing some of them. Hold on. I thought it would be research already. It should be. Oh, I realise what's happening. Oh, never mind. Well, it's research now. Right. I'll actually put in some extra research for the armor. And maybe we'll put in for the salvage module or something. Or maybe then... Yeah, we'll put another one for the armor. We want to get that as quickly as possible. And now we can start designing the engines. So, for the... Well, if we go first to get the survey ships, we need engine power 150 per engine. We're going to have several engines, I think. But we are also going to lower the fuel efficiency or energy power a little bit. We'll go over 15 hull size. I mean, honestly, 180 is not bad. It's a bit faster than we anticipated. Or if we go for single engine, we could probably get it up to 300. Yeah, 25 hull size. Still gonna be a military engine, of course. Because some of the components are military stuff. But it would have a decent fuel efficiency. Is there... Oh, we could actually get thermal reduction on it a little bit. Now that would increase the cost of the engine. Oh, we could get up to 50%. Thermal signature of 150. Would be a rather expensive research, I'm not denying that. That would actually take a bit more in terms of space in the ship than usual, but at the same time we wouldn't need to have as much fuel in there to be able to reach far. I think we might be able to go with this as for the survey ships. We'll just add in the longboat over there so we realize that it's meant for them. But yeah, we'll go with this. It's a bit expensive research. Maybe we don't need quite that heavy thermal reduction. But now we need to put in the longbow again here. Sorry about that. Right, so we'll create that. That's the first one. Then we'll need to go for the unsungs. We'll need to get another one of these, and I think we'll go as cheap as possible for them. So hull size 5, that's good. Oh, it does increase the crew size quite a bit. Let me have a look real quick. How much? Let's see, if we go for the tech knowledge, have a look at the engines. So there's the hull size 2, it has a crew of 3. Okay. So 2 of them have a crew of 6. We basically need to keep the crew something. I think there was 1 extra space there. We can check that, but we need to remember 3 per engine, so 6 crew members are technically available. Actually, no, there's more than. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that, by the looks of it. We got spare berths for 5 people right now, since we lowered the thing over there, the deployment time. So we don't need to worry about that at all. Not gonna worry about that either. So it will have pretty high speed. Let's see, it has hull size of 10, so 16,000 kilometers per second if I'm not mistaken. Well, I think that sounds pretty reasonable. Now of course it's gonna run through fuel quite quickly, but that's fine. They need to get where they are going quickly, do their fighting and then return, so that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Right, so this could be the not unsung engine. Then we need to figure out some engines for our... Well, let's do the civilian engines first, because that's going to be the easiest. So we'll go for hull size 25, commercial engine, and hull size 50, commercial engine. And then for the ships that we use for our military, let's have a look. Let's grab the design screen. Do I have it open here still? No, but we can get it open soon. So if we have a look at the Athean here, how much does it have? It has 4 of those engines. We do have the tech over here open, don't we? No, that's the population. Never mind. We don't have it open. Right. I suppose we can see it from the... So size 40 in engines total. We could probably use 2 engines instead. So size 20. So those are a bit more fuel efficient. Let's see, then I do want to get some thermal reduction on those. Maybe even up to 50. And of course then the engine power. Let's see, so if it has a size of 200, I want to have about 7,000-ish speed. so they can keep up with the enemy precursors somewhat well. They don't need to catch them, but that's probably going to be good enough. So let's see, we have... I'm trying to remember the calculations here. We need the 7,000 to be the target, so engine power... You need, I think, about... Hold on, 7 times basically the ratio between the class size and engine power. I think. So it would be 1,400 in total, what we need. Can we get this up to 700? Not quite. I'm not sure if I want to put that high power. Maybe if we go for a bit less. So with 2 engines, we'll go with the assumption of 2 engines. We'll need, if we go for maybe 500 engine power roughly, can we get that? Something we can get that quite meet up there. We can either go a bit faster than that or a bit lower. We could go for 1024, for example, with the 1.6, which would give us about 5,000 kilometers per second speed, which would also be probably a bit fuel efficient than what we currently have. I think. We can check that real quick, so I'm gonna pull these to the sides real quick so I don't need to pull them back in. Let's have a look at the technology again, and I know I'm quite a bit over time already on this episode. Well, at least about 2 minutes. So these are what we'll be using. Fuel efficiency 2.18. 1.55, so yes, it would be a decent bit of more fuel efficient. Now to be fair, let's see, the thermal signature would be 256. Do I see the thermal signature? I mean, each one of those is probably 210 because there's no reduction in there. Would be a bit expensive research, but at the same time, could we maybe get it up to 600 EP? It would be pretty close. That wouldn't actually be as effective in the engine power per hour. I think I'm gonna go with the 1.6 actually. Sure enough, they won't be as quick, but this is mostly for the patrol things. This is not that bad, really, and this can be also used for the carriers, assuming the carriers are the same size. So yes, we'll use this. We can save at least a little bit in the fuel. So we'll have that. Then what we need another one. It's probably for, well, we don't need to design that right now. We can start researching these first. But we're going to do that in the next episode because we are definitely out of time right now. So if you enjoyed this, please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.